Finished, he called for music. His wife brought a beautiful golden harp. The giant ordered it to play, and it played a beautiful lullaby. And the giant fell off to sleep. Jack instantly decided to take the magical harp. But as soon as he touched it, the harp cried out as if she were human. "Master, master!" Jack carried the harp out the castle door as he heard the giant stumble out after him. "My cookie, George."
You have to catch me first.
But the giant was still half asleep. By the time Jack was down the beanstalk, the giant was just at the top. He tried to follow. The great beanstalk shook and shivered with his weight. And when the beanstalk fell, the giant fell with it.
You okay, little buddy?
My cookie, George.
Right you are, Junior.
Want this?
Why, thank you. Don't mind if I do.
And they lived happily ever after. The end. More book?
I don't know, Junior. I think we covered them all.
We've been around the world in 80 days.
Heard the Call of the Wild.
Seen the Emperor's New Clothes.
We've read them all, I'm afraid.
Oh? Sure. That last one put you right to sleep.
There's my little assistant. Junior, want to give me a hand whipping up a little rainy day treat?
Treat, 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 treat. Now what?
Well, we can always go see what's making that horrible noise.
Sounds good to me. Well, not the noise, but the idea anyway.
Let's check it out. Of course, it's coming from Dad's studio.
One more twist, that'll do it. Ha-ha, gotcha. That shouldn't give me any more trouble.
Hi, Mr. Shrinks.
Hi, Dad. What's all the racket?
Oh, hey, Becky, Georgie boy. Don't worry, I think I've calmed the beast. It had a loose reverberating reed. That's more like it.
More like what?
This is the good old, or should I say good new, Wonderophone.
Wonderophone?
I bet you're wondering what it's for. It creates the effect of an entire symphony horn section as if it were playing in a rabbit's hole.
Cool. But why do you want a horn section in a rabbit's hole?
I thought you might wonder about that, too. I'm writing a new musical based on a great old rabbit's tale.
A story about a tale?
Oh, not just a tale. This tale is a girl's adventure filled with talking animals, magical gardens, and the zaniest tea party you could ever imagine.
Wow.
That sounds like the kind of adventure we've been having. We've read every book in the library.
From The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn
to Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Well, I wonder what you think of this little adventure.
The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah. The Mad Hatter and all those guys.
So you've been to Wonderland, have you?
A long time ago. You and Mom read it to me when I was small.
How about you, Becky? Have you ever closed up like a telescope?
Have I ever what?
Yep, I think this little adventure has your name written all over it. Why don't the two of you take this book downstairs and try it on for size? And before you go, care for another sample of the score?
Sure.
Yes, please.
I call this the Caucus Race Round. Go give that book a read. I think you'll spark to it.
Spark to it?
I wonder what went wrong that time. Well, you two go have a good time.
Thanks, Mr. Shrinks. I can't wait to see what happens to Alice. The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Chapter 1. Down the Rabbit Hole. And a nicely dressed rabbit at that.
You don't see a lot of rabbits in vests anymore.
Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank.
Anybody hungry out there?
Me make cake.
We thought you two might want a rainy day snack.
Thank you, Mrs. Shrinks. That looks delicious.
And smells even better.
And a pitcher of homemade fruit juice sweetened organic lemonade.
Me make cake.
And a few of Junior's all-natural carrot cupcakes with real carrot bits that he made almost completely by himself.
Me make mushroom
That's right, my little toddling gourmet. We're going to whip up a shiitake mushroom bisque for dinner.
Thanks for the snack, little buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Junior. Now, where were we?
Alice was sitting around bored.
Here we go. She was considering in her own mind, as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel sleepy and stupid.
That's one problem we don't have.
Whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble. When suddenly, a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her.
That's remarkable.
No, George. In fact, it says there was nothing very remarkable about the rabbit until it took a watch out of its waistcoat. Alice started to her feet, and burning with curiosity, she ran after it and was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under a hedge.
You don't say. Becky, look.
It stopped raining.
Look down
A rabbit that wears glasses?
there. Guess he hasn't been eating his carrots.
What are we waiting for?
We're late. We're late. We're very, very late. Huh?
Hey!
Where'd he go? Well, he must be a magician's rabbit, 'cause he just disappeared.
He can't have gotten very far. Probably just slipped down a little rabbit.
I think we found the rabbit's pneumatic tube system.
Wait a minute. It doesn't feel like we're falling at all. It's really more like floating.
Tell that to the supercar.
This is actually kind of fun. I wonder where it ends.
Or if it ends.
George, look! A light at the end, or more like the bottom of the tunnel.
Hope nobody minds us dropping in.
That was a pretty smooth landing for such a long fall.
You know, when I said we should fall into a good book, I didn't exactly mean this.
Oh, my fur and whiskers. I'm very, very late.
The white rabbit!
You don't see that every day.
George, I think we're actually in Wonderland.
Of course! Talk about getting lost in a good story. When Dad said we were in for an adventure, I didn't think he meant it so literally. But here we were, just like Alice, down the rabbit hole into Wonderland with no way out. Well, I had to admit it was pretty great as far as adventures go, but I did kind of wish I could remember if the book had a happy ending. It's been a long time since I heard this story, but I'm pretty sure the first thing Alice did to get out of Wonderland was to go through the garden door. But it's locked.
I saw a little key on the table. I bet it opens the door.
That's right, the key. But you're still too big to squeeze through. There should be some kind of shrinking drink around here somewhere.
There's the key. Drink me? How did Mrs. Strink's homemade lemonade get into Wonderland? Oh! Hey! I'm shrinking!
Just like in the book. Great! Now you can fit through the door.
But the key is still way up there. I'll never be able to get it.
Now you know how the George half lives. Don't worry, I have lots of experience at these kinds of things.
Things sure look different from down here. Hey, look at that. Eat me? Well, at least I can enjoy one of Junior's George-sized cupcakes. Uh-oh. Becky, going up.
Great! Now we have the key and you're way too big for the door again.
Don't worry, this lemonade should do the trick. I hope there's enough left in the glass.
Whew. Getting up here wasn't exactly a piece of cake.
Actually, it was. A piece of cupcake, to be exact. Whoa!
All right! You're small again. Sorta.
And this time, I remembered the key.
Becky was getting her adventure in a big way. Who knew what was next in Wacky Wonderland? Looks like we're in business. Wow.
A little help here?
Looks like you're in a tight spot. That was close. A little less lemonade and you'd never have fit.
Yeah, but now I need to find some more cupcake to get back to my normal size. What's this? Eyeglasses. I think these belong to the White Rabbit. We better find him so we can return them. These flowers look huge from down here.
Welcome to my world.
George, look at the mailbox. W.R. The White Rabbit must live here. Do you think he's at home?
Only one way to find out. Look, the sign says enter and the door's open. He must really like having guests.
Hello, Mr. Rabbit. Are you in there? Another cupcake! Finally, I can go back to my regular size.
Bex, maybe you should wait until we're...
Uh-oh.
Oh, outside.
Whoops.
Oh, dear.
Wait! We only wanted to return your glasses!
Too late. He's long gone already.
How am I going to get out of this house without wrecking it?
Maybe there are some lemons around here somewhere. I'll have a look.
Phew, it sure is stuffy in here. Maybe this fan will cool me down. Much better.
Nope, nothing in the... Hey! Where did you go?
I'm under here. The fan must have made me shrink. And just when I thought I was getting the hang of it. Now I'm tiny again.
At least we see eye to eye on that.
The Wonderophone.
Sounds like it's coming from the garden.
Come on, let's go. The music's coming from around here somewhere.
I don't see anything.
Then might I suggest looking up? Who are you two?
I'm George Shrinks, and this is...
Becky. Well, I'm sort of Becky, only not exactly the right size.
And what's wrong with the size you are?
Good question.
There's nothing wrong with this height. It just isn't mine is all. I'm not used to it.
Well, one side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter.
One side of what?
The mushroom.
The mushroom?
You don't want to go around eating wild mushrooms. I'm talking about these mushrooms. In my homemade mushroom soup.
But which side makes you tall, and which side makes you small?
Only one way to find out.
Ah! Wrong side.
Try the other side.
Well, don't you want to be bigger too?
No thanks. I like it down here just fine.
Thanks for the soup, Mr. Caterpillar. Look, George, maybe he can help us. Excuse me, Mr. Cat?
Can I help you?
We're looking for the White Rabbit.
What's the matter? Did he disappear?
Wow.
What kind of cat are you, anyway?
A Cheshire cat, of course. One of a kind. Now, you were asking.
The White Rabbit. Do you know where he might be?
Of course I do.
Well, aren't you gonna tell us?
I just did. Come now, what am I?
I know. Without a body, you're just a head.
So the White Rabbit is...
Just a head.
Way to go, Bex.
They sure have a strange way of answering questions around here.
Let's see what's just up ahead.
Hello. I'm Becky, and this is George.
Hi.
Well, I'd love to chat, but I have guests for tea, so I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Guests? I don't see any guests.
Of course not. They haven't arrived yet. I'm expecting them any minute.
Who are you expecting?
Well, I won't know that until they get here, of course.
Then how do you know that we aren't the guests you're waiting for?
Are you?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say so? Pardon my manners.
Thank you.
Care for some tea?
That would be very nice.
All right, the supercar. I was wondering where it disappeared to. Hello?
What's all this racket then?
I'm sorry to wake you, but, you're sleeping in my supercar.
Supercar, huh? Well, I told the Mad Hatter that it wasn't a tea kettle, but would he listen? No.
Well, what do you know about tea kettles anyway? You're just a dormouse.
I get the feeling he's not listening.
This is the silliest tea party I've ever been to.
Thank you for saying so.
Oh dear, I'm late. No time for tea, I'm afraid. I'm dreadfully late.
No, wait, your glasses. George, we can't lose him again.
Time to fly.
Oh.
Sorry, we have to run.
He went through here.
Looks like our teapot just flew the coop.
Uh-oh. Which path do we choose? The left path or the right path?
Perhaps I could help,
Another game, you mean?
but of course. Watch closely.
He's gone again. But he forgot to give us our clue.
Or did he?
At least before we could still see his head. But this time there's nothing left of him.
By George, I think you've got it.
I did?
Sure. Like you said, this time there's nothing left. And if there's nothing left, then
We should go right.
the right path it is. Let's go.
Keep rolling. Just a little further. Oh, so close.
Isn't that a shame? My shot! And what an easy shot, too. Looks like victory will be mine. Yet again. Royal Scorekeeper, are you ready to declare me the winner? Yes, Your Majesty. Very well, then.
Mr. Rabbit!
Oh, dares!
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Rabbit!
I hope we're not interrupting.
You there! Look what you've done! The Queen of Hearts never loses!
Sorry about that. We just wanted to return these.
No, you remind me of another little girl who had the bad habit of showing up here unannounced.
I believe these are yours.
Oh, my! Thank you. I've been looking all over for these. You're very kind. So, it's your fault my game was ruined. Well, I know just what to do about that. Guards, off with his...
Wait! If I can make this shot and win the game for you, will you leave the White Rabbit alone?
On one condition. If you miss, you share the rabbit's punishment.
Bex, that shot is, impossible.
This is Wonderland, George. Nothing's impossible.
Still, something tells me the Queen isn't playing with a, full deck.
It's a deal.
You can do it, Bex!
Oh! Aha!
Wow, did I do that?
That was some shot! But how... That's what I call using his head.
Guards, take them away!
But we had a deal.
Uh-oh, this wasn't in the cards.
Get them!
This is ridiculous. You're all just a pack of cards. Achoo. So, to that book.
Tell me about it. I can't wait to tell Dad about our adventure.
Let's go.
Dad!
Mr. Shrinks!
Oh, hey.
We just wanted to tell you that we went on a great adventure and met a disappearing cat and a Mad Hatter and all sorts of stuff.
Will wonders never cease?
Yeah, Dad, thanks. That had to be the greatest adventure ever.
Sounds like you had a real hair-raising, or should I say, hair-chasing adventure.
Did we ever? The story pulled us right in.
A real page-turner. I only wish we could do it all over again.
Well, then, I've got some great news for you. You can.
Through the Looking Glass. The Further Adventures of Alice in Wonderland.
They made a sequel?
That's one way of putting it. I've got some even better news.
What's that?
It stopped raining. You can finally go outside.
Great! Let's go!
And read it in the gazebo. In another moment, Alice was through the glass and had jumped lightly down into the Looking Glass room.
It's amazing how a book can carry you on a great adventure to exciting, faraway places without having to leave the yard. And by using imagination to help your adventure along, who knows where it might lead you? Another country,